Thank you for, waking up at this reasonable hour of the day,
Yeah,
being
man.
functional, man.
Yeah. I'm surprised I made it.
Really? Did y'all do anything Friday night, or did you do
We
anything
we
Friday night?
drafted. I
Oh,
had a really busy Friday.
yeah.
Um
Tell me about it.
it's my sixth day working
What?
because we had staff day on
Oh,
Friday, which is
like
like a
like
mandatory
6 day working in a row.
in a row. Yeah, not of
No.
all time. That would
I
be
was like, damn, look at you.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we had staff day,
Yeah.
which is mandatory, and that was all day, and it was kind of outside because it was at the fairgrounds.
The- mm,
And then it got to be like 90.
yeah.
Um,
You ever think
yeah,
about how things are just called things, and we're like, I wonder why it's called that, and then you look back like thousands of years, and it's just like, oh yeah, they would have like fairs here or something,
yeah,
like the
Teva, they still
fairground.
do have fairs there.
What? No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure they have
Dude,
fairs there.
way back in the day when they used to still have fairs and people would
Yeah,
go
well,
outside.
yeah,
Dude,
way back on Tuesday.
dude, I've only been to one fair and it was with you.
What fair was that?
It was in San Diego. I think it was a fair. Was
Oh
that not a
yeah,
fair?
that was the Santa Clara or San Diego County Fair.
Yeah, we went with
Yeah,
with the
you know
with
where
the
that
gang.
was, Teva?
No, say it ain't so. No, there's no way.
Yeah, man, I
That's
have
that's
little something to tell you.
that's revisionist history. They changed it.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it's
The San Diego Fairgrounds.
yeah, I'm pretty
No.
sure.
Oh no,
Hold on,
man.
I'm trying to find it.
On like Google Maps.
Yeah. Um,
Dude, apparently GeoGuessr is big.
yeah.
I didn't realize
Oh
it was still
well,
big.
Teva,
Yeah.
got some bad news for you.
Dude, yeah.
Uh, hold on.
Oh, okay.
You check discussion.
Okay. Uh, you mean the water cooler?
Water cooler, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No.
Yeah.
Dude, no way.
Dude,
I can't
they open
believe
soon. We
this.
could
Oh,
go.
you could go. I
Let's
can't.
go to
They
the
have a
fair.
website.
Oh my god.
Dude, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
anyway, it
Yeah.
was a long day.
Yeah.
I went and saw my dad
Okay, that's nice.
um, because my mom's out of town,
Hmm.
and my mom texted me, my sister, and was like, "You should check in with your dad, make
Aw.
sure he's okay." And then I checked in with him, and I was like, "Hey, I can stop by these days. What do you have going on?" And then in that moment, I realized my father has more of a social life than I do.
Oh my goodness. No
It's like,
way.
well, Monday I have this,
Monday
Friday
do
this is
this.
going on, Sunday, church. Um,
Damn.
yeah. So
That's so
anyway,
funny.
I was able to squeeze in stopping by. I brought takeout, and then I went to Eric's house for draft,
That's
and then we
nice.
drafted until like 10:15, and at that point,
Oh, it's not that
Eric was
bad.
like, "I want to get Somi Somi," and
Aw.
Somi Somi closes at 11,
Damn.
and so they cut the draft short
Dude, that's
to go get ice cream.
that's a very Eric vibe.
Yeah. Instead, I went home and put oil in my car.
I don't know why we're gonna say like on my skin like or something like
Well,
have you have you heard about the fucking I don't know if this is new. I was talking with someone and they were talking about how like P Diddy or something who's
oh, bro, that
apparently an
stuff's
awful
so
human.
fucked
It's
up,
literally
man.
so fucked, but I can't help but find it like insane that the man had like something like 1,000 like bottles of like baby oil or something in his
Yeah, did
house.
you hear his lawyer was like, "Oh, he just likes buying in bulk from Costco."
Yeah.
And then Costco comes out and says, "None of our United States locations sell baby oil."
Wait, no, really?
Yeah.
That's even funnier. I thought they were gonna say like, "Hey, man, we don't do bulk purchases of 1,000 containers of baby oil."
Yeah.
Like,
It's no,
that's
that this shit's
so.
fucked up, man.
It is super fucked. it is just super fucked. But I do think like as a headliner and a concept, it's like, bro, you don't need 1,000 bottles of
Yeah.
baby oil. Like,
No
come
one
on,
needs
man.
1,000.
No one needs 1,000. It's like, what are you scared they're gonna like ban you from though, or you need like your little stash of baby oil?
That's yeah.
It's like people during COVID with toilet paper. It's like you never know when they're gonna stop printing these, you know?
Dude, I met someone at the work thing who was like talking about one of my coworkers, and she was like, "She saved my life during COVID," and I was like, "Oh wow, that's wild. What happened?" And the person I met was like, "So when everywhere was out of toilet paper,
No.
she gave me some of hers," and I'm like, "Oh,
That's
okay."
so beautiful.
I was expecting something different,
Yeah, I was like,
something
save your
more
life.
intense, perhaps.
Yeah,
Maybe
like
like
drove you
a
to the hospital,
yeah,
like was
exactly.
there for you. No, dude, this is why I'm team bidet.
You still need to wipe, man.
Okay, maybe you do because you're weak.
What do you like absorb the water into your body?
My anus is adapted.
Bro, don't ever say that again. Oh
No, no,
man.
you definitely still have to wipe. I'm not convinced. Like, okay, it depends, but I'm not convinced
Uh-huh.
the average person saves that much toilet paper from a bidet.
Yeah, no, me
But
too.
but I do like the comfort, and I do feel like I just feel fresher, you know?
Hmm.
Also, like, yeah, I mean, if you really need to save toilet paper, you just get up and go into your shower, no?
Maybe I'm not a real shitter like you, Tevin.
Dude, all the real shitters use a bidet,
All the real shitters know.
and they know the shower trick. Like, come on, man. If you haven't taken a shit and been like, no, this is a shower one, like, you a real shitter?
Oh,
like,
oh my God.
like, come
That's
on,
wild.
man. Dude, there's just times I don't know. Maybe it's a problem with my diet.
I mean,
Trying to eat more fiber, but
you
like,
gotta go to the doctor, bro.
no, you do not need to go to the doctor. For
Oh my God.
dude, some people just
Maybe your jaw issues are because you're gritting your teeth
it's yeah.
every time you
There's just
shit.
tooth dust in my shit. I
Uh,
it's not okay. There are different problems one could have, but I think like it's not like I have to grit my teeth to like get it out or
well,
anything. It's just
I've heard some real shitters do.
some real shitters do. Some uh, you know about poop knife, right?
I don't.
You
And
don't.
I also don't think I want this explained to me.
It's not as bad as you maybe think it is.
Oh, I
It
don't
just
know, man.
okay. Here you can here. What do you want the safe word to be?
Uh, I,
Banana
I don't
bread.
know. I, I, I don't know if we need to go down this road.
If any time you want me to stop, just say banana bread and I'll stop. No
Perhaps
questions asked.
the idea, the any concept of what a poop knife could be is,
It's bad.
it's
Okay,
bad.
this just has to do with the idea that like different people have different shits, different shitting difficulties and struggles. And there's a famous Reddit post where this one guy is like TIL that not every family has a poop knife. And he's just like
Oh my
apparently
God.
all this is from retro. He's like apparently me and my family we just take big dumps. Like we just take
Oh
big
my
shits.
God.
And so anytime ever since I was a kid and sometimes you can't flush that shit. So the family had like a fucking designated knife that they would use to break it down a little bit so it would flush easy.
Man, if this was a Korean family, it would have been poop scissors.
Oops, dude, honestly better strat tbh, like
Yeah.
let's be real. But
Oh my God.
yeah, this is not a Korean family. I would bet money on it. But he basically, so this is fine as he's growing up for like most of his time because most of the 90% of the time you're pooping at home. So one time he's at a friend's house and he's just like, damn, I really gotta go. So you
Yeah.
go at your friend's house. If you're tight with someone, you can do that. That's okay. But he finishes and he's like, damn, where's the poop knife? And he just can't find it in their bathroom for some reason. And he's like, fuck, I guess I'll just ask. So he comes out of the restroom. He's like, hey man, where's your poop knife?
Hmm.
And his friend
Thank
just
God.
looks at him like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, the poop knife.
Hmm.
And that is the day he learns that not every family has a poop knife, nor do most families. And that his family just has genetically or diet wise, I don't know why, they just have larger shits than average than the American toilet is like suited to handle.
uh, you know,
You know?
there's different forms of culture shock, and I feel like that's got to be up there.
I think it's I just think it's so funny how much you can fuck with a child. Like not in a
You
bad
mean
way,
how
but
much you can fuck up a child?
yeah. Yeah. It's just I just think it's really fun. It's like things you just take for granted and then you realize like, "Oh, this is like not normal."
Yeah, this is yeah. Oh
Like
dear.
yeah. I don't know if I've mentioned this story to you before, but when I was a kid, like my dad, just due to like various circumstances he grew up with, was like he did not want me as a kid like worrying about the prices on a menu.
Hmm.
He was like, I've worked hard to make sure my kid doesn't have to worry about like money while he is a kid. Like,
Oh yeah, I know where this is going.
and so this is like great for me as a child because I just order what I like on a menu and he's like fine with it, whatever. Until I go out
Hmm.
with my good friend's family to a football game. And they're like, oh, we should grab a bite to eat before the meal. And so they go to like whatever the local, like, I just came from the UK, so I'm going to call it a pub, but it's like, it's not a pub.
Yeah.
It's like a stadium restaurant, whatever.
Hmm.
Like, okay, two boys, two kids, they'll probably order like a sandwich or something, it'd be fine. And I've never been to like a football game or like this kind of a stadium like kind of restaurant, whatever. And so I'm just looking down the menu. I'm trying to find the thing I recognize that I feel comfortable with. So I order the filet mignon steak
Bro.
because I just like, oh, it's just like, oh, I recognize these words. I'll have that. And it was like a fucking shell shock to my friend's
Yeah.
parents. He
Oh
later
God.
very kindly told me, it's like, hey man, if we go out to another football game again, like try not to order the steak. It was kind of expensive. I was like, oh, oh. I didn't think about that. I was like
Hmm.
literally probably like 10 or something. Like I was that's which is pretty old for that, like 9 or 10. But
Yeah.
like it was just like the environment in which I was raised,
Yeah.
you know.
Maybe your father should have thought of that.
I think he should have, but like you know what they say, like we like people fuck up their kids in ways that is like
Yeah.
different from how they were messed up. They're like they don't repeat the exact same mistakes, they make different mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I have since
Mhm.
learned. Hello, good morning, sweet Eric.
Yeah, sorry, my alarm just well, it did go off. I did not.
That's fair. Pop off, King. Yeah. Do you wanna
Mm.
you wanna get ready and join us in a little bit?
Yeah, give me like 2 minutes. I'm just gonna brush my teeth at the very least so I can feel fresh and.
Okay, yeah. Do your thing, man. Live your life.
Oh, okay, I'll be right back.
Yep. Love you.
Dude, I this is not super funny,
Yeah.
but it's also kind of funny.
Yeah.
I just remembered forget what that I forget where I saw this, but it's like a tweet or something where this guy was talking about it, how his something happened at work and his coworker just started muttering like, "One of these days, I'm really gonna do it."
No, dude, that is
But
like
I
not
had a,
super
I
funny,
had a,
but kind of funny.
yeah, I had a moment at work where something happened, and that tweet popped into my head, and I'm like, I, I can't, I like, this is so fucking funny, but I
Yeah.
literally cannot say that because people will take it seriously.
No. I think it's all about how you say it.
No, I think no.
I think you could pull
That
it
shit
off.
doesn't look good typed out on an HR document. I don't know, man.
No, that's fair. You're like, he said, I think I'm gonna do it. Yeah, when it's
Yeah,
typed out, it's like that's pretty
and a
bad.
quote. Yeah.
But then you just go be like, no, no, but it's the way I said it. It was like different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You weren't there. You didn't hear
You
the way
weren't
I said
there.
it.
You didn't see the tone in which I said it. It was
Yeah,
so
no.
jovial.
Exactly.
Yeah. So cordial, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, like it's funny because I feel like I could get so much use out of that in an ironic way, but I also like literally I will not and should not.
Dude, that's the problem with like humor.
Mm.
Yeah, sometimes it's like because it's
Well,
a
we're
subvert.
too woke now, Teva. Is that what you're
Yeah.
gonna say?
Oh my god,
Can't
thank
make
God.
jokes anymore.
I'm so glad you said it and not me.
Shut up.
No, no. What I was gonna say is like the problem is it's a subversion of expectations, right? But
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but sometimes the expectation is like we live in a society, you know, like we have standards.
Yeah.
Uh,
You can't joke about committing crimes in the office anymore.
dude, you just gotta you just gotta change it to like I'm gonna take back what's mine. I'm gonna. It's so vague.
Ugh.
They don't know. Maybe you
Uh,
need.
what is yeah?
Yeah, what is
What
yours?
even is yours, and what
Yeah,
was yours?
yeah, exactly. It's so abstract, you know.
Hmm.
Like maybe you just want to take back your sandwich that your coworker like took from you, you know?
Yeah. Well, you've heard of people. We're talking about poop too much this episode, man. I
I
can't do this. You've
dude,
heard about people putting laxatives in their lunch to figure out who's taking it.
I have heard that. Yeah. Hey man,
Yeah.
there's something universal about poop. Like we all
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, we've read that book.
Yeah.
Everyone poops.
What? That's a book?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't read that. I just kind of I figured it out myself. I think I'm kind of ahead of the curve.
You checked everyone?
I mean, not everyone, but
Oh, this book is made in Japan. You know,
everyone poops.
yeah, somehow this makes everything make much more sense.
Dude, I mean, this is why they have the bidets, man. They figured it out. We're still in denial.
Poop Japan?
Poop in Japan, dude. Thumbnail for the video.
Oh no.
No, that would be bad. That would be
Yeah.
so bad. It would be so
Yeah.
wrong. I understand now why every episode the yard just talks about the three topics the yard always talks about.
Oh, of course.
It's so easy. It's so easy. It's so basic. We would never stoop that low.
No, never.
Uh I miss you guys.
I don't know how I feel about the draft environment in
And
Mystery Booster.
Mystery Booster. This was not Dustmore. This was Mystery
No,
Booster.
it's Mystery Booster. I don't know. I think there's an element of there's the randomness you get from like the random assortment of cards in a booster pack.
Totally.
But then Mystery Booster being like red or like basically 2 cards for Mooberg and then other random stuff after.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I feel like that changes the game plan a lot.
Which can be like a good thing. Like I think part of these like more niche draft formats is like the whole idea is they're like we expect you to be more enfranchised. We expect you to be kind of like not bored with the general environment, but like wanting a mix up of it.
Yeah.
But sometimes the mix up is bad.
Yeah, I was not a huge fan of the mix up.
Dude, can I
And some of the cards are a little too silly. Well, yeah, what's up?
Oh, I was just going to say, can I say like I'm not going to lie. Maybe it's just recent things that have happened. Feel like Magic's washed.
Bro. Bro, you're telling me.
You're telling me, brother.
You're telling me, bro. I'm still playing it and it every time I'm like, damn, this kind of sucks.
Dude, that's just how you know you've been playing a game too much.
Dude, I'm not even playing it too much anymore.
I don't think you are.
We were putting in the hours back in the day, but
Dude,
now
but back in the day it was good.
yeah, things were much better when I was younger.
Exactly. Dude, this is something I actually wanted to talk about, which is that the longer I'm in the game, the more I get old people. The more I think about it, the more it all makes sense.
Why can't things just stay the same forever?
They've
Never and ever.
exactly, and ever. Like
And
our
ever.
friendship.
Yeah. Like we'll be friends forever and
Dude,
ever.
I just think about how many things that they've loved that they've lost in their lives.
Mm.
Like for us, it's like a few things. It's like, Magic the way it used to be. Or like the candy bars we had when we were kids because they're shitty now.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Speaking of which, I should go grab a candy bar.
Okay, go for it.
Bro, this shit is melted.
What is your candy bar of choice?
Twix.
Dude, I used to be a Twix kid.
Oh, bro.
Like,
There's no more left tricks and right
Twix.
Twix anymore.
It's crazy. Like,
No, like they fused together in this wrapping. I've just
Wait.
got the Omni Twix.
wait. Either you're fucking with me, or
No, man, they melted together.
you should post a picture to
Nah,
so
this
I
kind of looks kind of looks like proof.
No, man. No. Wait.
This is on track to be all-time stinker.
Dude, it's been a minute. We're due for an all-time stinker.
Hold on, let's see.
Oh my god. So hello. So you usually like are Twix doing the Kit Kat thing now where there's two in like a package? Like, you know?
There's always been 2 Twix in a package.
What?
Is that true?
For the regular sized one.
Oh, well, I guess there was the thing where it was like the left and right Twix, right? Like that was the whole thing.
Yeah,
Is
that was their marketing. Were you a left Twixer or a right Twixer?
I eat both of them at the same time.
Are you talking social or conservative? Is it social or economic or?
I was fiscally left Twix, but really more like socially left right Twix.
Ooh, people haven't heard that one.
Ooh, that's the wrong combination, brother.
Hold on, let me. There, now you can see what I'm talking about.
Oh my god, yeah, it's a turd, dude. Wait, that's so
Delicious. First thing in the morning.
Something about that angle, man.
Do we want more mouse picks? Mouse hand picks?
It all
Oh
tastes
my
the same.
god. Dude, I feel like it's gotten. Has candy not gotten sweeter?
No, your taste buds have just changed.
I believe you, but I don't believe reality.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say I refuse to believe you.
I'm gonna substitute your reality with mine own.
What's the last Magic set you played, Teva, or like followed?
I think like I follow them all like out, like, you know, I like track that they're coming out. I look at them. Like the last Magic set that I like went to a pre-release for was probably the Lord of the Rings.
You went to a Lord of the Rings pre-release?
Because I had friends in Portland who did not play a lot of Magic, but they're like, "Oh my god, Legolas!" And then we were like, "Yeah, man, let's play Magic, man." And my friend opened a One Ring.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was his pre-release promo, and he was like, "Damn, this is pretty cool." And now it's like $100 or something or more.
Dang, that's so funny. Did he sell it?
I don't think so. I think he was like, "Nah, this is so cool. I want to keep it."
This is the people who are now joining us in this game.
Yeah, he's a movie guy, so I think he like he thought it was like really cool. It's like the One Ring, it's mine. It's only mine. And to be
That's
fair,
never gone wrong.
I don't think he learned much from the movie, but he did enjoy it. Yeah. Dude, can we is it too much if we talk about the Magic drama? The Magic tea?
I feel like
we can have
certain topics here are evergreen, and the Magic drama is one of them.
I agree. Like we literally talked about the 30th year anniversary thing when it like happened.
We did.
Yeah. And now it's like, how do y'all feel about the Commander bans?
Bro, I don't give a shit.
I mean,
Dude,
I guess I have enough of an opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I like it.
Yeah.
As far as like the overall health of the game.
Yeah. It's funny. It's one of those things that like I'm kind of with like Luke in that this affects me like literal zero. I have none of these cards. The context being Magic the Gathering, huge trading card game. Their most popular format, Commander, they just released a ban announcement where they banned like 3 of the not most expensive, but like 3 incredibly expensive cards in Commander that are like used in a lot of decks. And they essentially have banned them from the format, making all their like prices drop and making people have to like revisit their decks and all that stuff. It's quite the drama in the field, as it were. This is like losing like on the player base of Magic, like millions of dollars of value, quote unquote, were probably lost because of this announcement. Like if you think about how many of these cards are in circulation.
Yeah.
It's like probably not an exaggeration. It probably actually is.
Oh,
about
it's
that much,
it's
like, easily.
obviously in the millions. It's just a question of like how many millions.
Mm-hmm.
Just based on the number of cards, all this. And so people are like naturally upset because if you're a single person with like multiple copies of these cards, you could have lost like hundreds of dollars. And also people like playing them in their decks. That being said, these cards kind of suck to play with and against, in my opinion, so I'm down.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I feel for the people who like specifically went out there, spent $100 to buy one of these cards. And next day it's like, well, haha, sucks to suck.
Yeah.
You can't quote unquote legally play with them. Now, in Magic, there is something called Rule Zero, where if you're playing in your own group, you can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Right? If you want to, you can play things that aren't sanctioned or play things that aren't even real cards.
Do any of y'all watch like Game Changers, or have you heard of Game Changers?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a kind of like sketch comedy ish show. It has like Brennan Lee Mulligan a lot on it. It's like one of those types of shows. And one of the first things they say is like the points are made up and nothing matters, or something like that, which is essentially what Rule Zero is for Magic. Like we have all these rules, but like they're all made up. It doesn't matter. Play with your friends and have fun, you know?
Yeah, and it's like the most important thing, right? End of the day. So, you know, if you're just playing within like a group, do whatever the hell you want, right? As long as the rest of your group agrees.
Yeah.
That being said, though, I like the overall general like consensus, because I did look into this because I just saw this really ominous tweet by one of my God, oh Lord, that's a word I haven't used in a long time.
Oh
but,
no.
Yeah, I saw a tweet, like, a notification from someone that I follow, and there was like, no, I don't have an opinion on this.
I'm really gonna do it.
One of these.
But yeah, it was basically just like, no, I don't have an opinion. Stop asking me, right? And I was like, okay, that's a little weird. What is this about? And yeah, I saw it, so I looked into it, and it seems the general consensus, from a lot of people, is that whether or not they do agree that the ban was correct or incorrect, as far as the way they went about it, the thing that people generally agree about is the fact that the card probably should never have been printed in the first place. That's kind of the big issue there, right?
Totally.
Is that it was a pushed card, like something that was designed to sell packs, because that was the most expensive card of that set, and it was made specifically so that people would be enticed into buying that pack for that set, so they could potentially open it.
Sure.
So that being, that's kind of called the chase card. And with the chase card now being banned, right? One, it drops the price of that pack. But two, more importantly, it should have never gone that high to begin with, because they never reprinted it more than, I think, like once, maybe twice.
Which card specifically are you talking about? Because there were like 4 cards banned.
Specifically Jeweled Lotus.
Okay.
Jeweled Lotus is, I think, the most problematic one. And I do personally agree with that as well, too.
That's interesting. I disagree that Jeweled Lotus is the most problematic one, but it's getting, yeah.
What's your most problematic card?
Honestly, for me, I think it's Dockside.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think the other issue there being, though, is that Jeweled Lotus is literally unusable outside of Commander.
Oh, are you saying it's the most problematic that it was banned, or most problematic that it was printed, or like what?
The most problematic in like the greater context of everything.
Like
the
that
fact
it
that
exists.
Exists, and the fact that it was then banned.
Sure, okay.
Because it was specifically made for one format and one format only, and pushed for that one format and one format only, and it was made to be expensive, right?
Totally, yeah.
And then they banned it. So now anyone who has had that, there's no use, because Dockside is at least usable in other formats, right?
That's true. One point I was gonna make is that, like, you know, Jeweled Lotus, if anyone has like heard of like Black Lotus, right? Like, you know, like that is like probably the most famous Magic card because it's like so expensive. It's printed in the original set and it's like bonkers powerful. Jeweled Lotus is just a black Lotus, but it's like only usable in Commander essentially. So it's like Eric said, it was designed to be like ridiculously like hype and like powerful and like people would want it. And it only works in Commander. So
I don't think they went far enough.
like in terms of the bannings.
Yeah, they should have banned Soul Ring.
Watsy did nothing wrong.
That they can't ban Soul Ring, man.
No, they need to.
They can't.
I'm actually of that mind of I'm okay with them not banning Soul Ring. I'm okay with having
they can't
some
ban it.
They literally can.
No,
they literally could,
dude.
As like a fat matter of fact, but
no, it's such a
don't
PR
think as
disaster.
far as like a game. It is a PR disaster.
It is like saying
any,
like, yeah, hey,
any change they make to the game generates a PR disaster.
Okay, but
Let's be honest.
But this is saying like, hey, you know all these Commander precons we've printed for years and years and years that if you buy, you can almost certainly immediately just pick up and play with people. They're all illegal.
Yeah,
like,
well,
they all have
if they
Soul Ring.
banned Soul Ring at the same time as banning these cards, maybe people wouldn't have complained about the other cards.
Dude,
So I mean, there's definitely two.
You're so
schools of
funny. That's actually true though. You're right.
because it is in the same vein, right? Because if you look at functionally, right, what the cards do, for those who aren't aware, right, Mana Crypt is a card that taps for 2 mana. It costs 0 mana and taps for 2 mana and has a downside. Soul Ring costs 1 mana and also taps for 2 mana. So they're both pretty comparable cards as far as a general functionality.
Yeah, they're
right?
basically the same.
Basically the same.
Yeah, so Soul Ring should be banned.
And no, there's that's legitimately a really good argument just by that virtue, right? But the biggest thing is that Soul Ring is not $100, it is $1. And as well too, it's pretty much ubiquitous across every single deck. It is a card, and by that logic, it is a card that is used in literally every deck. There's no reason to not use it.
I would argue it is the most iconic card in the Commander format. Like if I were to pick one card to be the face of the format, it would be Soul Ring.
Yeah, Magic has changed, and Soul Ring is holding us back. It's time for a new
and we
number
need
one.
to take back what's ours.
I
Which
do
is the
like
spirit of the
them when
game.
I don't have to put a very common card and I find other wacky options. I do genuinely like that.
Sure.
But it is one of those where, yeah, it's a card where sometimes it causes like kind of funny like beginnings, like game starts, and it kind of balances because anyone who gets the Soul Ring at the table is like, all right, well, we're focusing him, right? Like all the extra like chip damage that everyone gets in at the very start of the game, like the 5-6 damage that everyone can put out, goes to the person with the Soul Ring because it'd be silly to do otherwise in most every case.
Yeah, I think it's a fine thing because again, this is something about like games and game design. It's like people like variance in their games, right? If the game always went the same way, it would kind of be boring. And I think the games where it's like someone gets a Soul Ring out, if it happens every once in a while, oh, you know, gotta tone him down a little. Like this happened like years and years ago before a lot of these cards became super common. Like the Command Zone did like a stats analysis on like their games and found that the person who played Soul Ring turn 1 usually lost. Like it didn't net in a higher win percentage because people self-corrected around it. Right? So I don't think it's that problematic of a card in the format when it's like the main card that kind of does that. Okay. That's my mini rant.
Thank you, Tubba.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anyway, things were better when we were kids. That's the
Yeah.
takeaway.
Yeah. Dude, back in my day,
Bad.
yeah, change is bad. Back in my day, Soul Ring was a fine card. Now everyone's saying ban Soul Ring.
Luke is a leftist extremist is what we're taking from this today.
And one of these days,
you would be a left Twixer.
It would be a left Twixer.
in a rare
Economically,
state
though.
of unity, the Twix fused together,
The Twix fused together, man. That's and formed a giant turd.
and everyone clapped.
Yeah. Beautiful. Send it to Hollywood.
See, this is where like Luke does this, right? Like this, he's that person who like bites the Kit Kats the whole way through, you know. Like,
I
Teva.
I don't do that, but I did it for the
Uh-huh.
first time in a long time, just the other day.
It's
like
freeing, isn't it?
it kind of felt
Refusing to abide by the rules of
Kinda-
society.
it felt a little good.
Yes.
I kind of liked it.
Yes. Become ungovernable. Anyway, speaking of Hollywood,
I was never
Famous
governable.
in here.
Yeah.
Oh no! I guess
I'm
that means
Speaking
I
of
have
Hollywood.
to be the foil.
I'm
Before-
realizing I I miss watching movies.
Dude, you go ahead. I just
I
vibe
had
with
this
you.
realization when I went to the movie theater to watch fucking Long Legs.
You mean the
Um,
spider in your house, or
No, the
what is it?
horror movie
Okay.
starring Nicolas Cage.
Dude, not a Nick Cage film.
Dude, I didn't even know it was a Nick Cage film until I got to the theater.
Yeah.
And saw his name pop up in the opening credits after they hinted at his character.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh God, I'm in for a treat." And
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
It was billed as a horror movie, but I honestly thought it was so funny.
Dude, I
His
feel like
acting
that's
is just so wild.
I mean that's why people love Nick Cage films, or there's like a cult following around Nick Cage films, because he's so consistently derpy. Like I don't know much about Long Legs, but like have you seen Dream Scenario?
No,
It-
every time someone mentions a Nick Cage movie, I'm like, it sounds like they just made it up on the spot.
Dude, you're gonna love the plot synopsis.
God.
Because it
I
is like a
just see
fever dream.
the picture of him with holding a gauntlet with knives. Bro, 2.8. Oh, I'm loving the audience rating spread on this.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no.
See, shit like this is why I miss movies. I just want to go and have a good time and let myself experience something new that I've never seen before and will never see again. I want like this kind of novelty.
Dude, I bet the movie theater companies want you to do that too.
Anyways, I'm gonna go see The Substance at some point. I've heard it's absolutely wild.
It sounds like something that like a cult would do. It's like, yeah, man,
Yeah,
we're going to The Substance today. Have you attended The Substance?
I'm gonna be going into it blind, so
Okay.
ask me in a couple weeks what my
Okay.
take on The Substance is.
That's kind of a hype name, honestly.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Substance.
You know
man.
what else is basically like a movie?
What?
Like about like multiple episodes, kind of about like the same time commitment, but
Like, but you could like break it down and like maybe stop whenever
Yeah.
you want to, like
yeah,
in the middle
exactly.
of the movie.
Right? Like if you didn't have as
Hmm.
much time per se, you could watch,
You could like stop at any given
like a
point.
small block, right?
Yeah, like a book.
Like not maybe not like any point per se, maybe like
Oh,
a 22 to 24 minute
yeah, like
block or so,
like with
right?
after each chapter, right?
Bro,
Yeah.
I met someone the other day who said they hated anime, and I'm like, that's such a
You're
such
so
a dumb
based for
statement.
that. What?
That's like saying, bro, I hate movies. Or like,
Yeah.
bro, I hate
Dude.
orchestral music. Okay,
Dude.
maybe that's a genre.
You've-
That movie.
You've switched, man.
I've switched. No,
And you're
look.
based
Anime
for
is a
that.
medium, right?
It is.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. But
Yeah.
like saying you hate a whole medium, it's like I don't know. It just seems weird. It's like saying, dude, I hate French animation. It's like, okay,
Like, dude,
you hate the French.
I hate Japanese books.
Yeah.
Like, I've just
I don't
never
know.
vibed with one.
Okay,
I don't know.
it's fair if
that
you
shit kind of
if you
pissed
can't
me off
read it.
because it was a
Dude,
dumb
it's-
statement.
That's funny. though.
I remember having to like talk to my little like nephew about this because it was one of those where like I was like talking to him about shows. He was like, I just don't like anime, like, and I think he was at that age where it was like, I just don't like things that are popular, like pretty classic like
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. If it's cool, he likes it less.
And
Or
also
she,
like
I don't know.
his sister likes
Yeah.
it, so it was one of those where like
Ah.
most definitely it was like I'm not gonna like something my sister likes. But yeah, it's one of those where like I get there's some reasons like I sometimes like I don't know animation you don't like I prefer live action things or whatever not right, but I
Sure.
still think I do agree though, right? Like I think it's like saying I don't like fruit, right? I don't know, like I think it's also like very like a broad statement, right? It's just
A
like
lot of-
there's so many things around that, right?
A lot
Like
of people
one
don't
particular
eat
type of
enough fruit. You should eat more fruit,
Yeah,
man.
but that's
How much fruit have you
Because-
eaten? In the
Because
past
people
week?
keep a knife in the bathroom.
I like most of the
No,
time
don't
though,
use
that's
the
that's
poop
for
knife.
like for like actual lack of trying. It's not because they don't like it per se, right? It's just they don't make the effort to eat it, right?
Sure.
But yeah, like it's just kind of like I said, it's a medium, right? It's there's so much there, and it's like fair to say like I don't like isekais because I fucking hate isekais.
Bro,
You know, like valid statement. Anyone who says otherwise,
so reductionist of you.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
and I
think
love
it's
my
interesting.
reductions. It concentrates flavor.
I feel like
Fuck
when
you.
someone's like, I don't like anime, it means they don't like the 2 or 3 anime, like the 20 minutes of anime they've seen in their life, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, or the 3 anime that people are talking about right now.
Yeah. Or it's like, dude, I hate how, like, I don't know, it's the classic, like, Japanese trope. It's like, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of problems with anime. Like, I think it turns off a lot of women I know because they're like, it's so
Yeah.
objectifying a lot of the
Uh,
time.
It's kind of funny though, because you watch older movies and you're like, oh, there's all sorts of weird shit towards women in these.
Oh, totally. Like,
Yeah,
freaking, people love, like, Marilyn Monroe, and it's like, dude, she, I don't know.
she went through some shit,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. It's like her whole brand was like being sexy and hot.
Mm.
Like, that was
Which
a
is
thing.
also in its own right, like its own thing now as well, too.
Have you seen
right? As
any
far as...
like old James Bond movie? Like, he's a fucking creep.
Oh no, I mean he is known to
Yeah.
be just like a womanizer, right?
Yeah,
Like
well,
that's like actually part of like James Bond's brand,
but like
right?
a womanizer, I feel like back in his day was kind of cool. Like, is the implication, right? Like, he's like so cool.
Yeah. I don't know. It is one of those very funny differences you kind of look
Yeah.
through time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think, obviously perspectives change over time, and that is cool and like okay. It's just kind of funny. Like, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but like over like a year ago, I watched like the original Rush Hour. Have you all seen Rush Hour?
Oh yeah.
That film
Oh, yeah.
is so funny.
It would not be made today.
It
There's
could not be
no
made
way
today.
that movie would ever be made
It
today.
is so racist. But like, I
Teva,
feel like
you're not beating the allegations, man.
that I'm racist. What are the allegations?
You leftist radical.
Dude, but it's like so funny, and I don't know, this is maybe a spicy take by me, but I feel like when, like, I think things should be judged in the time frame they are made, and we are far too, like, we like go back and judge things based on like our time. Like, dude, George Washington, fuck that guy, he had so many slaves. I'm like, yeah, if you were a rich white landowner in that time, you would too. Like, it's just how things were. Like, it's bad, but like,
I mean, there were people at the time who also
yeah,
were rich and white and didn't own slaves and had
They
a
were
moral
objective like this is wrong.
objection to it. So I don't know if that's an entirely accurate
okay,
statement.
but are they my president?
Fair point.
No, that
Okay.
that is fair. No, you're fair.
Across the Delaware.
Did they cross the Delaware? No one crossed the Delaware like
Did
my
they
man
camp in
George.
Valley Forge in the freezing cold with their
Oh
men's
my God.
feet falling off?
Damn, you learned something in history class.
Did he have
man.
teeth
Yeah.
that were fake and could give?
You know,
us-
he had fake teeth made from human teeth.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he had
Why would
real
he
teeth.
fake at that point.
Real
then?
teeth that weren't his.
That's weirder.
And who did those teeth come from? Might we ask?
I don't like
Is
where
that
this.
your man? Is
Yeah.
that your man, Teva?
He's not my
Teva,
man. He's not my
is
man.
your man?
He's not my man, but he is my president.
Maybe we shouldn't use the verbiage of your man when we're discussing this part of topic, huh?
Bro.
Oh,
Teva?
What? Why not? Wait, is there something I don't know?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Who's gonna
Uh-oh.
tell me?
Who's gonna tell him?
Yeah.
But no, like I think it always falls into the same vein. Like obviously, for me, I love eating food. Like that's not a surprise to literally anyone.
I'm waiting to see how this relates because it just started with you being like, "Yeah, man, I just love eating food."
Well, no, because part of my biggest philosophy is just like try food, right? Like
Mm.
if you've never had it before, like the amount of people who are unwilling to try something because it's not even like the ew, that's gross. They're just like, oh, I don't like it. And it's like, oh, have you tried it? Like, no. I'm like, huh? Like, how do you know you're not gonna like something if you haven't tried it yet? I genuinely do not understand that, right?
I feel like this
Like-
is the take Eric and I are the most in agreement with, like, of all the takes. Like,
You
I
know,
think this is where we vibe the most. is
I
food.
used to feel that way about stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I got to a point where with the commander ban list, I just don't give a shit. It's like, if you don't want to, that's fine.
But this is why old people are the way they are. Like, they hit a point where they're like, bro, I know my top 10 hits. I just want those. Why the fuck would I try this new thing? I know it's good. It's all the same, man. We're all the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's their choice.
Yeah, it's their choice.
I don't know. That's the way I see about anime. People who are like, I don't like it, and it's like, have you watched it? And they're like, no. Like I've heard that a lot.
This is
right?
like, I don't remember what it's called, but this is like a common psychological phenomenon. It might be like Dunning-Kruger adjacent, but it's like the less someone knows about something, the more likely they are to reduce it to like something like
Which makes
simpler.
sense.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, no, like the way I say it, it's like saying, I don't know, if you were like, I don't like anime, I've watched one and I don't, because of that I don't like anime. It's like saying like, man, I didn't like this like pasta one time, so like all fucking carbs suck. It's like,
That's fair.
It's so broad.
That's
right?
true. But I also agree with Luke that they are allowed to have that position, and it is their choice whether or not they want to try it more or like.
Oh, they're
engage
allowed.
with it more.
I mean,
You
they're
guys
totally
also
allowed to be
to be
objectively
like,
wrong.
oh, that's weird.
Yeah. What?
They're allowed
What?
to be objectively wrong. That's fine. Like, no one's gonna like execute them for that.
Not in this
But like,
country.
I mean, not in an ideal. Well, I mean, maybe in
One
an
of these
ideal
days, I'm gonna do it.
One of these days, I'm gonna do it.
No.
Maybe it'll be tonight.
Oh my
Dot,
god.
dot, dot. Facebook
no.
post
See-
2008.
See, no matter how bad you feel, Luke, about like how your coworkers might react to what you say, the shit Eric says.
Yeah.
It's okay. My
Yeah,
coworkers either know it by now or they don't know it. There's no
fair, yeah.
it's very polar.
I feel
at
like
this
your
point.
coworkers are also like kind of younger, right, Eric? Like
Not now, no.
not anymore. Okay.
No, yeah, now we're all the same age.
And they
as far
still
as,
think
like,
you're gonna do it?
They still think I'm gonna do it.
Damn.
I remind them every other week.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like end of the day, I do think it's important to try new things, but that's also mainly based in like a food thing. There's a more philosophical outlook on that. We're like, yeah, explore the world, and it's like, no, you should just try different foods. I think foods are good. There's a lot of stuff people miss out on, right? Like, and I don't ever bash someone for ever not liking a food.
Oh
right?
no, you do.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
well, yeah.
He literally
Big lie.
does immediately.
If for our friend who doesn't like bread, doesn't like pasta, doesn't like rice, I will call him a fucking weirdo.
Dude, we'll like eat something, and he's like, "If you don't like this, you're fucking dumb." Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna
I
take
will
you outside
spit
and
in your
shoot
face.
you.
yeah. Oh my
But yeah,
God.
like I think there's like I know like textures are really big for a lot of people, right? Like people, if there's like a weird texture, there's nothing that's typically going to
It's-
convince you otherwise that you're going to like it.
It's definitely my half white side where I like eat something. I'm like, damn, I'm really not a fan of this texture, man. Like, it's just something about it just doesn't do it for me.
See, and that I legitimately think that's super valid, right? Like a
Yeah.
lot of people are like, I don't like mushrooms for the texture. I'm like, yeah, fair. Like flavor wise, they're like, I like the flavor, like it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, texture wise, no. And I think this helps coming from like a Chinese background because Chinese like some fucking weird textures, man. Like we love chewy textures.
Dude, I think I was talking with either you or Luke or maybe a different friend back home. But I recently, like, over our summer vacation, I went to Scotland and I tried haggis for the first time.
Ah.
I was actually really good. But like, so the thing about haggis, if you don't know, like the classical preparation, you basically take a bunch of like a sheep's like various organ meats, mince it all up, and then put it together with spices and cook it in the sheep's like intestine lining. And the whole point of the lining is to, like, insulate or whatever, and it's like a very like traditional Scottish dish that they still make today. And I was trying to explain to my friend what it was because I kind of expect most people to be like weirded out or grossed out by that. This friend is like Chinese. And so he like heard me say it and he's like, yeah, this just sounds like the average Chinese dish. Like I don't see the I don't see what's weird about it. I'm like, all right, fair enough.
Honestly, it's funny you say that
Yeah.
because I was just like, you mentioned that. I forgot haggis was a dish that existed until
You would
just
like
mentioned
haggis,
it.
dude. You're
I know I
you
would
did
because
it.
Yeah.
obviously as a kid, because the reason why it's actually funny you say that because right now as I'm like, what did I even find so weird about haggis? And I literally like have it up on my screen. I'm like, yeah, I think just visually it's probably the weirdest thing. Because
Well-
if you tell me that you just threw a bunch of organs into like an intestine casing, I'm like, that's just a sausage, man.
Yeah.
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 Like,
Well,
and that sounds fantastic.
I think to be fair, like kids' taste buds are more sensitive, and because of that, certain like foods or flavor, like they just don't like it as much. Their taste buds are just more sensitive. Like I don't know if you had this experience. I, as a kid, pasta with like butter, fucking slapped. As a child, like this is why kids like fish sticks, right? They're like, damn, this has no flavor. I love it.
I mean,
Like-
I used to just throw Maggie seasoning and butter in rice.
That seems honestly more flavorful than what I got. Yeah.
It is more
Yeah.
flavorful,
Yeah.
and it definitely would clog your arteries for sure if you ate that now.
Oh, true.
But it was good.
Ugh.
But yeah, I agree. But at the same time, there's a lot of just cultural connotations, like what you grew up with, right? Like you go to other countries and the amount of stuff where they eat and you would just be like, what the fuck, right? Like some people would just eat like straight raw blood, right? As like kids, if you're in like certain like countries, right?
Dude.
Or like just raw.
Or-
offals as well, too.
what country? Transylvania?
God
Like a
damn
lot
it.
of African countries,
Dude,
actually.
Dude,
Okay.
you're riding at a dangerous line, right? Because you're about to invoke my like America sucks rant. It's like this
Oh.
close to the tip of my tongue. Like,
Oh
ugh.
no! Oh God forbid
Ugh.
this extremist like cast today
Dude.
starts talking about how America
Dude.
sucks. Oh no, that would
Dude,
be
we
awful.
we got no culture here, man. I mean, we obviously do. It's like our biggest export, but we're so unaware of like how the rest of the world fucking functions. I feel that it's like you say that and it's like, yeah, that sounds like weird and crazy. It's like, dude, they like people live such diverse lives, and it's like all valid, right? Like it's just like it's the way they like live their life, and that's cool, you know.
I mean, I hold that position even for the Bay Area, even more specifically, right? Like I was just having this talk
Oh,
with someone
God.
the other day
Yeah.
where we are in such a specific bubble. Like I think the one
Oh,
thing
totally.
that I really take for granted consistently is the fact that we don't have to worry, at least in the areas that we live, we don't have to worry about food deserts, right? Like food is
Yeah.
so accessible.
I mean,
to us.
I think that's like most of the like I could be wrong. I'm sure there are like obviously people like on the poverty line, but I feel like most of the US like I think it's so crazy that our problem is like obesity and not like food. Like
so
it,
that's
yeah.
kind of, are you familiar with what a food desert is?
probably not because
Okay.
it seems like it's a specific term.
It is, yeah. So food desert is basically places of, and in a lot of the United States actually, where like fresh food is not accessible. A lot of the food that you get is specifically just gonna be like junk food and like processed goods,
I see.
right? And again, especially living in like California, we exist in a place where we have farms literally like 40 minutes to my
Oh,
life
yeah.
kind of a thing.
Oh
right?
yeah,
Mhm.
California
Super close
is
by.
great for that. I mean, so
Yeah.
just another observation is this idea of like a food desert. Like there are like actual food deserts. It's where people are starving.
Right.
Here, people aren't starving. They just don't have access to good quality food, which I think is still like like it still shows a bit of the privilege we have, which is just like, you know, there's stuff you can eat. You won't starve. Like starving isn't a worry, right? Having
Well,
some for some people obviously, but like
yeah.
the majority, like compare it to like the 1800s anywhere, and it's like so much better, right? The problem is obesity now, where it's like way more people have like obesity than are starving.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
part of the one of the factors of that is it's easier to buy
Processed
pre-processed
foods, totally.
food for cheap. Like
Totally.
pizza, frozen pizza is probably one of them. Or when I was like watching stuff and learning about this, it was like
Yeah.
frozen pizza is one of the most cost-effective ways to get calories,
Damn.
especially if you're feeding a family.
That's why
Yeah.
it's not delivery.
Yeah,
It's DiGiorno.
it's not.
It's not. It's
This-
not.
Today's podcast and
It's sponsored by-
DiGiorno.
Dude, when you think frozen pizza, they've done such a good job, dude. That's the only frozen pizza I can think of. They've infiltrated my mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I can't think of anything off the top of my head outside
Yeah.
of DiGiorno's, honestly.
Yeah.
But
they've changed
I mean,
the
like I
game.
said, there's obviously like a lot of poverty that exists, right?
Of course.
And it comes up in like a different way, right? In America, it's very different than that, right? And again, we're
It
fortunate,
is.
and again, that's like its own bubble as well too, right? We're fortunate to have that food accessible regardless. But yeah, like especially where we live in more affluent areas, we don't have to think about. Like it's like, oh
Yeah.
no, I can't get my like really niche ingredient for this one specific cuisine. Even then you can, right? Like we have so many specialty stores for like Korean, Indian, Vietnamese, Japanese. Like we have for, like literally every different like
Oh, yeah.
major ethnicity out there, right? It's so accessible.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
It's interesting because we live in a bubble, but at the same time, there are so many bubbles within our bubble.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different like immigrant groups
this-
in
is
our
this-
area.
Bubble theory?
Oh,
No, I think that has to do with Jigglypuff and hitboxes.
Damn.
Yeah, there's like certain like immigrant groups and like cultural groups that have their own like cultural centers in the area.
Yeah.
And there are people who are a part of those communities and like generally will interact with that community outside of like work. And that's like another layer of kind of there we do live in a bubble in terms of like this area, but there are also so many different smaller bubbles in the area too, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, it's like I think that's something that's really cool about the area personally. Like I think it is really cool to have like a diverse set of experiences and perspectives.
Yeah, so
Like-
why does the United States suck, Teva? I thought George Washington was your man.
Dude, it's because the rest of the country is bad. I even like many areas. Like, I don't know.
Have you been to much of the rest of the country, Teva?
Okay, wow, you're really calling me out, man.
Ooh.
No, I've like only been on the West Coast. Goddamn. Okay, rude. I just feel like the stuff that I hear, and maybe I'm biased because I'm in a graduate program at an American university, which are always like centers that are like really focused on like liberal change and like trying to like improve things, which I think is not a bad thing. But I think the scope of what they try to improve is often so narrow and like fixate. It's like very US specific, I guess, is my point. And so maybe I'm like exposed to that a little more, where like I feel like sometimes people are like talking about these things like they're like life and death, and I'm like, I don't get me wrong, I'm sure they're important, but like other countries, like I feel like it's just like not a thing. I don't know. It's like a weird feeling that I don't think I'm articulating super amazing.
No, I kind of get what you mean. It's like if everything went away in your grad program,
Yeah.
you and the other people you're working with probably have enough of a social safety net that you would be fine.
Yeah.
Being able to find something else realistically.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, like if all of it went away.
I mean, I think some people would struggle like financially because like, you know, for a lot of people, grad school is like their full-time job and they like live very frugally. So they would need at least some sort of job or funding or something.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think it's just one of those things where, yeah, like the way it's like discussed, but I guess this is probably true like everywhere, where it's like this one issue is the most important issue ever. It's like, I don't know, to me, it kind of puts into perspective like the priorities in this country versus like globally around the world, etc. I don't know.
Part of it is we have the benefit, like we're fortunate that we don't have to worry about things such as, like war coming to our shores or severe poverty or hell, even like the water encroaching up on where we live, right?
Sure.
Well,
because that we're able to focus on other issues,
about that
right?
last one. No, I'm kidding.
In like a more direct
Yeah.
sense, right? But yeah, it like is one of those things where we're fortunate we don't have to worry about these things, so we're able to worry about other things, right? And
Totally.
it's like, you know, if you kind of look at that like Maslow's hierarchy of needs to some extent, right? And not like directly, obviously, but in that kind of vein of like, okay, well, these problems are no longer issues, so we can now focus on like kind of the next step of these things that may not be as vital for living per se, but are still very important.
Yeah, my man
right?
Maslow.
I love referencing.
I
Maslow.
agree. I think I agree with you. Sorry, I'll cut that out.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, sorry. You just put so much disgust in my throat. No. I agree. I feel like that is very true that like as you go up the hierarchy, you like start to focus on different things. I'm not as convinced we're as high up the hierarchy as we should be, if that makes sense.
I probably in agreement with you, honestly.
Like I think
you are self-actualized.
y'all are self-actualizing here.
Yeah, I like this is where armchair liberals are. We're gonna be honest, a little bit of a plague at times.
You're
right?
also not going to beat the allegations this ever.
No, I'm not. I'm.
I think I'm centrist enlightened. Everyone sucks but me.
Yeah, but it is one of those things where as long as they focus on these things that in the grand scheme of a lot of things don't affect much, and you're fighting for people who don't need you to fight for them, kind of a thing, right? Like this happens a lot. It's like, yes, it'd be good. Like I don't know, like cultural appropriation is one of those things, right? Where there's times where it's like, yes, it is good to not like take other people's culture and
Dude.
straight profit off of it.
I have such a funny story about this. It's not
Oh,
cultural
boy.
appropriation. Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Yours is probably more actually about cultural appropriation. Mine is just in the same vein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was this one time a friend said they were gamers and they were actually just like playing games on their phones. And
Oh
I
my
didn't
God.
appreciate that.
Oh,
As,
we have
like,
a
gamer
story about
American-
that too.
Oh, jeez.
This happened like freshman or sophomore year of college. We went to like a friend's place to just like hang out, and they're like college fratty friends. They came by. We were like playing something on the TV, and they're like, "Oh my God, is that a game? I'm such a gamer. I love mini clip or something." I forget what they said, but it was so like it's so weird. That's college
Hey,
for you.
Mini clip is sick, dude. Don't you
It
shit
is
on
sick.
Miniclip.
Mini clip's great, but it's just like the way they said it. It's like, yeah, they were appropriating the term. That's our word. Yeah. But the story I have is kind of funny but kind of sad. So at OHSU, there is like unfortunately multiple incidents of essentially like a professor sexually harassing a student.
Jeez.
And there's this one guy in the program who's honestly, his story is just really funny because he's like joining a very liberal graduate program. He's definitely far more conservative, has definitely like made people mad with the things he said. And I don't need to get into any of the details, but essentially when this happened, he was initially like not super about it until someone explained to him, it's like, hey man, that could have been your girlfriend who was like harassed. And like, it's like a light bulb popped up in his head and he's like, that could be someone I care about. It's like try to teach a grown man empathy.
Oh.
But then
Oh my God.
but it gets worse because then his mind goes, I need to protect all women. And it's like, no! No, you were so close.
Oh my God.
It was actually so funny.
That is really funny.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, sometimes you can really just see the gears working in someone's head.
Yeah.
And then you see them kind of just fall apart onto the floor. It's really impressive.
It's funny. You know, everyone's on their journey and at different places in their journey. And some journeys are longer and some journeys are shorter.
And some will keep being on that journey because, you know, it's not about the destination.
Yeah.
You know, it's about the journey.
Yeah, it so is.
Some people are not about that journey.
Yeah.
Some people want to just stay at home and, you know, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Have you all heard of Mudang?
It's
Yeah.
funny because coming into this, I was like, I feel like this fucker's going to get brought up today.
Dude.
There's no
what?
way in hell he
Dude,
doesn't.
he's so cute.
Is it even a he?
I don't know. Maybe she's so
Actually.
cute. Mudang is so
I'm
cute.
pretty sure she.
It might be
Yeah.
a she.
Yeah, she
Or
is.
Mudang hippo. Okay. Well, she's so cute. She's adorable. It's unfair.
Wait, quick thing, Luke. What
Yeah.
was your story? Wait.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Not to glaze over that.
I was taught Tai Chi by a white man the other day.
Dude.
Speaking of cultural appropriation,
Hey man. Sometimes I think that sometimes I feel like that can be okay depending on the context.
Hey,
It's not okay.
I'm Chinese.
Okay.
I'll give him the pass.
No,
I'll
you
give him
can't-
the pass.
You can't just
Unfortunately,
do that.
there's another Chinese person there who's one of our friends who did not give him
Oh
the pass.
no.
He said,
okay,
yeah.
word for word, I feel like I've been cheated.
That's so
okay,
funny.
and your friend, were they teaching Tai Chi? Hmm?
No, but they were so pissed off, they taught other people martial arts afterwards.
Damn. That's
It's actually so funny.
Yeah,
I
it was really bad.
yeah.
It was really bad.
Yeah, it depends on the way it's
Like
done.
bad in like a greater context, or was the Tai Chi they're teaching bad? This is
Both.
important.
Look, I don't know. I am no judge of Tai Chi,
Because he never learned because the guy teaching was
but something felt really wrong. I'm like, this can't be the same Tai Chi that Eric's mom does with a sword.
Now, howdy there, kids. Today we're gonna learn about
Dude.
Tai Chi.
dude, it kind of does give me that energy.
Yeah.
I kind of want to experience that just to say that I did, honestly.
Yeah.
There was a lot of I don't know. It felt much more like a guided meditation,
That's
which would have
fair.
been fine if it was marketed as such. But no,
Yeah.
they said it was Tai Chi.
Yeah, the clickbait.
Dude, they clickbaited me
actually
at
got
staff
clickbaited.
day.
Oh no.
That's crazy.
Dude, you never told me what happened on staff day.
Well, it's like 8 hours of being with everyone from my organization. It was kind of a lot. That's basically what happened. There were like breakout sessions. Can't
Okay.
believe I wasted one of those on fucking
I
Tai
posted big
Chi.
cat.
Dude, no, shut up. Wait, was that actually where the Tai Chi came from?
Yeah,
No
it was.
way. Dude, I thought this was something that like happened to you as like a kid.
No.
Oh,
When they
no.
ask us for feedback about staff day, I'll tell them I could have done without the Tai
Tai
Chi.
Chi. Dude, I honestly kind of hate these like required like cuz it's like one of those things I feel like more and more like companies and businesses are doing where they're like, "Oh, we need to like show our staff that we like appreciate them and give them like, mental like health days and wellness, and we're going to require them all to come to this event that we're hosting."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
please, man.
Not great.
Please. But you know what
Yeah.
can help your mental health?
Tai Chi.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah,
Speaking
no,
of
it was.
Tai Chi,
Go on.
Mudang the hip. No, it's fine. You can talk about Tai Chi. I literally have nothing to say about Mudang other than she's so damn cute. And if you don't know who Mudang is, you should go look up videos.
I would
Mooney's
be shocked
pretty
if you
good.
at least didn't see it. If you didn't know it by name, you for sure have at least seen it.
Yeah, she's a baby pygmy hippo, so she's like a baby small hippo. Ugh. Ugh. And her name means like
Remember-
bouncy pork or something. Ugh. That's so funny.
I want to get bitten by Mudang.
I don't.
I'm not that big of a Mudang enjoyer, but I would want to get bitten by it.
Bro, getting not extradited, getting deported
Intradited?
from Thailand because you jumped into the Mudang's enclosure.
Dude, actually, it's actually really a problem because like Mudang has gotten so popular. Like, there's like a bunch of tourists all the time, and some of them are like fucking assholes and like try and like bother the hippos.
Man,
It's so sad.
Mudang doesn't deserve this.
Mudang deserves better.
What I'm taking away from this conversation is I need to go out and protect all pygmy hippos.
You're so right because they can't protect themselves.
Must protect
Dude,
all.
so when are we going to Thailand?
I don't know,
I'd
man.
be down. The food
I know
is
you'd be
good.
down.
Let's go.
Yeah, but yeah, it is internet sensation. It's really funny how these things like spread so quickly.
Mhm.
The reason I was gonna bring up that I was like, how long do you think Mudang is going to last as far as like popularity, right?
Very
well,
short.
she works well as an image, so
Yeah.
I think she'll still be floating around for a while
Yeah,
as like a reaction.
yeah, she'll be in like the ecosystem, but like I feel like the hype is like these things like are a blip, right? Unless something new happens, I think in a week no one will be talking about it.
Okay, but like, what if
I think
what if she like
maybe like
specifically
maybe a
says
month,
something
yeah.
controversial to like be back in the limelight?
Like
right?
Mudang, like
Mudang
Yeah.
committed war crimes.
Yeah, right. Like just to really bring her back into the public eye.
Dude,
right?
have
It's
I-
Like, oh no.
have I talked or told you guys about the Thai government restaurant conspiracy?
Oh, it's not a conspiracy; it's documented.
Okay, but like that's the best kind of conspiracy because it's true.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
They're flexing their cultural power.
Yeah, it's so sick.
Have I brought up to you guys? I can't remember if this is something I did like just amongst friends or if I actually talked to you guys about this. But
Because we're not friends.
It's gonna be
we're
racist.
not we're just coworkers.
Yeah.
We're just coworkers on this pod.
This is just a job
Uh,
for me, man. I'm just clocking in.
I'm just
clocking out.
I'm clocking right now. I know I was a little late today, so I got to go a little overtime just to make up for
Okay,
it.
yeah, you can go
Uh,
overtime alone in the.
But about like what's the most acceptable conspiracy theory that you like if you met someone like one of my
I
personal
have
biggest
one.
fears
I have one.
is like talking to someone that I meet thinking
And
man
tell
they're
them about
awesome
your conspiracy theories.
and like getting to know someone and be like man this person's really cool like I vibe with them a lot and then all of a sudden like they just bring out the most out there conspiracy theory I'm like I
Yeah.
cannot support
Yeah,
this,
like that
right?
the Earth is round or some shit like that.
yeah something like that
Fucking crazies.
No, but like, what would you say, like, in that context, what is the most extreme conspiracy theory that someone would tell you? Where you would just be like, yeah,
Oh,
fuck it, they're a little wacky, but like, oh,
Extreme?
sure.
The most extreme. I don't know about
Most
the most
extreme
extreme.
while still being acceptable.
I thought you were gonna say like the one I would buy into the most.
Yeah.
Well, we already know which one that is.
Wait, which one is that?
That the Earth is like round.
Oh yeah, well obviously. Wait, Luke, what is yours? What was your answer for the original like supposition?
Oh, Epstein didn't kill himself.
Oh, that yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to hear mine?
Hmm.
It's that conspiracy theories are circulated by the government to hide the actual conspiracies they did do.
Ooh.
I think that's a spicy one. But I think I,
mean,
would like buy it.
Disinfo exists, but I don't know
Yeah.
if that's a good use of the government's time.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
it's-
I don't know
it's-
if it's the government, but yeah.
Right.
it's like
That's
funny
why.
because
Yeah.
one of the YouTubers that I actually do pretty actively watch is Mini Minutemen. I don't know if any of you guys have watched their videos.
No, I only watch Mega Minutemen.
Thank you. No, so basically, he's this one archaeologist, anthropologist, mainly archaeologist, who basically disproves a lot of conspiracy theories, right?
Ooh.
In like a very like wacky Zoomer-ish format, which I actually enjoy in like the way he does it. Like, it's like
Oh,
long
no,
form.
he's
content,
becoming
right?
a Zoomer.
Okay, well, it's still like an hour long video kind of a thing, right?
That's Zoomer shit.
Yeah, exactly. Shit.
Yeah.
It's just like the humor and things like that are they tickle my funny bone at times.
Mm.
But either way, something that he points out a lot that I genuinely appreciate is that why do you have to make up some shadow government to like explain bad things that are happening when the government is like the government and they like you don't need to make up a fake government to like have bad things happen. Our government already does that shit
Yeah.
pretty actively.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate him like making that a very big point in a lot of things that he says because it's 100% true.
Oh,
Right?
totally. Yeah.
It's like I don't know, like, oh, there's a secret government that like abducts people and like makes them gay using chemicals, you know, and those chemicals. It's like, yeah, but like, you know, the government straight up introduced AIDS to people.
Oh, really?
Cool.
Is that like actually a thing?
Yeah,
That sounds pretty conspiracy
I
theory
think
to
he
me.
might be
but-
confusing that with syphilis.
I think I am actually.
Okay, I was like, whoa.
I mean, still
But-
bad, but
yeah. I like it's just one of those things where the government does a lot of these things which are like legit. We know they're like public information now, right? That we're like, damn, that's fucked up.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
totally.
like, do you think the government has really stopped doing those things?
No, of course not.
Probably not to a lot of extent. I mean, if you look at what we do to the Native Americans, you know. You know.
My spicy take is I don't want to know the shit the government's doing.
I'm also kind of in this.
I think it's a spicy take because I think obviously you should like critically evaluate and look at your government, but there's some situations like I don't think I can be a politician where it's like you basically have to choose between one fucked up thing or another, and I don't want to be the one making those choices or responsible for them. So, you know. That being said, obviously they could do better, but it's like I don't claim to know like what it takes to like run a country.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm kind of in agreement because for me, there's a lot of these things, right? Of when it comes to these conspiracy theories, like just in general, right? I'm like, cool. Let's say that is true. What does that change for you? Right? Are you like, did your life change in the slightest, right? Especially when it comes to like past conspiracy theories. It's like, let's say that the moon landing was faked. Cool.
What do you mean?
How does
Let's
that
say.
right? Like, how does it affect your daily life in any given way?
I feel like
all, right?
I feel like they like the idea of knowing, you know, you kind of like almost like awaken to the truth. You kind of become woke.
Like, I kind of get that. Right?
No,
Like,
I'm
honestly,
I'm
I
sorry.
like learning. I
in,
like
please.
learning. Don't get me wrong,
What would-
right? I like learning. However, yeah, there's a certain point of just like, I'm also very utilitarian in that sense of like, if it doesn't affect my life in any greater way, I'm not really gonna work about it, especially if I can't change it. If me learning about something is going to make me want to like do something about it and change it, yeah, sure. But if it's gonna just be like, okay, now I know, cool, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, eat breakfast, like, you know, like it doesn't really change.
And
my
aren't we
how I do
so
it, and I can't really
fortunate
change
to
it.
live lives where those things don't affect us?
So
And we
true.
are.
But like, you know, what
And
if
that's
you
why America sucks, because we need to learn more through like suffering, so we can be like the rest of the world. and understand it, right, Teva?
unironically, unironically, a lot of people in this country could do with a little bit more suffering.
Bullying works.
Just not
By the way,
not that
everyone,
kind
make
of
sure
suffering.
you check your voter registration
Oh,
before
yes.
November, because you could have been removed from the voter rolls. Happened to my partner. It happens periodically, so just check. Make sure you can vote.
That's a good take. That being said, we cannot politically endorse either of the candidates because that would be.
I feel like you both already have.
You're right.
Dude,
The radical extremism today has been all over the board.
This is kind of like pop, like whatever drama. But have you heard about the Chapel Rowan like drama?
Dude.
Yes.
Okay.
Vaguely.
Okay.
It's annoying. She gave a perfectly reasonable take.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
people got mad.
Yeah.
Because people are so fucking ingrained into this like parasocial relationship shit.
It is.
Yeah, it's pretty silly.
It's weird to have an expectation of blind loyalty to a candidate.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love this country because I love that I can criticize it.
Yeah.
And by God, I do.
Yeah. My God.
Yeah. As it is my patriotic right to criticize the government and its decisions.
Yeah.
I'm talking to him right now.
Yeah.
Criticizing the
So.
Are you good? You good there, Eric?
I think if he was like this. Yeah. What's up?
I don't know if you're talking to someone else there or in your.
No. I was. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I was. Yeah. No. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Eric's like, they're criticizing the government. You can't let them do that.
Take the shot.
Take the shot.
Take it. You see him.
No, I agree, and I think her take was balanced and like was fair, and it's just like I don't know if you saw she like posted like a follow-up like response to like
she didn't need to do that
She
because
did.
it was perfectly clear the first time.
Yeah.
No one even people who are making criticism weren't listening to her entire statement.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
They were just taking bits of it out of context because people only posted tiny bits of it online.
Of course, because they want the bit that's the most inflammatory or juicy, because they know people are going to be like, she said what? And then go from there. I forget if I've mentioned this on the pod before, but I recently heard it again, which is ironic. But like, I recently heard that the way humans kind of internally decide if something is true or not is just how many times they've heard it. So if you hear something more and more, you will just...
Teva's racist.
You just come to think it's true. You'll just come to believe it's true. Because you'll go and you'll be like, yeah, that sounds right. I feel like I've heard that before. And so like...
Yeah. Hey, have you heard before?
Dude, I'm gonna get canceled. What?
Teva's racist.
Oh my God, but that sounds right to me. I feel like I've heard that too. But it's just like one of those things where like I know I can tell with my internal bias, like it is just naturally how I take in information. If someone says something like, oh yeah, that's definitely true. Like I've heard that so much. Like the idea that like, oh, vegetables are healthy. Like I have not read go ahead.
Or the idea that Yoko Ono broke up the Beatles.
Yoko Ono broke up the Beatles?
Yoko Ono broke up the Beatles.
She didn't. That's the point.
Wait, but I've heard that she did quite a few times. So I think she might have.
Teva, no.
Yeah, but
you just explain this to us. Don't do it, Teva.
But I've only heard that explanation once, so. No, you're totally right.
Replay the portion where Teva explains the logical fallacy.
Dude, I'm just gonna. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna make a time loop in the video where we just repeat that one phrase like 3 times. No, but yeah, it is totally a logical fallacy, and it's a powerful one because I'm aware that like it affects me just like naturally. Like if I'm not critically like seeing that I'm doing that, like, oh yeah, I'll naturally like, yeah, I've heard this. Like, oh yeah, you shouldn't have too much like whatever in your diet, or you should have this in your diet. Like, yeah, I've heard that before, but it's like not necessarily true. And I feel like that just bears repeating with like media and news outlets and how they're trying to bombard you with like headlines to make you believe like a certain thing, right? That's like what media outlets try and do. So
yeah, I think online news is particularly bad for that.
Yeah, which I think is why the take of like, hey, like don't just go to your pop idol to like decide what you want to vote. You know, like think for yourself.
I wonder who you're referring to in this
read
case.
Between the lines. Okay, but you know, when Taylor Swift says something, it's a little different. It's I'm kidding. I do think one take that I've seen that like I can't like necessarily refute is like, okay, but like the sad reality is these pop idols actually potentially have the power to like move younger voters to vote.
Oh yeah.
Like that's something
Like
I
Kid Rock.
get. But I think you can be like, hey, you should vote without being like, hey, you should vote for X. Like, come to your own decision, but you should vote.
And how many people do you think come to their own decision?
Very few.
Yeah.
Like myself included, it's just like, I don't know, I haven't like, for me it's like obvious, but like also I'm registered to vote in California, so I don't have a vote, so it doesn't really matter. But like I think
local issues are important. Make sure you're reading your ballots, everyone.
Yes, local issues are important, but presidential election wise, like if you're in California, you don't have a vote, and that's the sad like truth of it. Like obviously not, but like kind of,
Yeah.
Like in an abstract sense, no, but pragmatically for the past however many elections, yeah. Your vote doesn't really matter. But you should do it anyway.
Yeah, but on the other things.
Yeah. Like your small local whatevers.
Yeah, or even, Senate.
Oh, true, definitely
State Senate.
Yeah, that can matter. It can all matter.
Representative.
Yeah,
Kanye West.
there's like a famous quote that's like democracy is the worst form of government except for all the other ones. Which I think is a good. I like that quote. I think it's pretty true. Like democracy's kind of sick.
It's one of those where I remember at times I'm like, could I drum up of another political or governmental structure that is like better? And like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's when
like
one person makes all the decisions, but they're right.
Yeah, and they agree with me.
Yeah. So like a fucking autocracy or like whatever, that's great as long as the person's like right.
And they're always right.
Yeah. Well,
they can never be wrong.
Yeah, dude. That's the beauty of a dictatorship.
A what?
What? The beauty of a dictatorship is the dictator's always right.
Oh yeah.
That's why they're the dictator.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like a grand leader, like he's never wrong.
Yeah, the leader.
Hmm?
You're appropriating my culture.
Dude,
that would be Grand Wizard.
Okay. Oh my god, you fucking went there.
Come on, man.
Damn.
It's funny. I recently learned that the KKK robes are appropriated culture from Catholics.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
From Catholics, you said?
From Catholics, yeah.
They took that shit and ran with it.
Dude, white supremacists can't come up with anything original.
Dude,
they really can't.
It's so hard for anything to be original. This is part of what I thought was like so cool about like visiting like Scotland and stuff. It's like you start to realize that all the things that we like do like have roots like hundreds of years back. Like it's just like I don't know, there's just something about like being in a place that is like more of a history than like the American like where it's just like, oh shit, like why is like dating the way it is? And you realize it is like evolved from like years and years of like courting and practices that were like important for like family and like human like species survival. And it's just like, damn, that has created modern dating where we're all miserable on the apps. It is culminated in its final form.
I legitimately just found myself all like a lot of times when I talk to people, it's like, dude, like how is the dating scene? It's just like sometimes like I know I don't know if you've been there for one of these streams, but one of our friends, he'll straight up stream him on Tinder on Discord.
Damn.
And it's actually pretty funny content, not gonna lie.
It's hilariously funny content. It just sucks to be the person who's like actually on the apps. I think
that would
maybe
be
not.
If we were more serious about it. We go to like Taiwan and look at the people there.
You're not beating the allegations, Eric. You're not.
Bro.
I go to the Taiwan section of Tinder to laugh at people. Not beating the allegations, Eric.
Okay. Greater context. We were looking for like funny profiles, right? And Taiwan had some of the funniest shit. Dude, no. You don't understand. They have the funniest memers there.
Oh, starting to understand.
Like, we went to other countries where, like, I don't know, like Japan, for instance, right? Like, it's kind of what you expect because Japan has this one thing where typically a lot of people don't show their faces, right? So a lot of it's like pictures of the sky and like their dog or cups of coffee, right? Like not much about them.
Seems bad for a dating app.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Japan overall.
Yeah.
So I guess par for the course as far as dating scene goes.
Yeah.
But and we went to Taiwan.
Yeah.
There were some really funny things. There's this one chick. I think the funniest one that I was like legitimately. It was like 2 a.m. I was laughing so hard about because it was this really pretty girl, like absolutely beautiful, like person, absolutely gorgeous, right? Drop dead gorgeous.
Sure.
But there were just like the silliest things. Like there was like a hot dog costume.
Tell me more about how beautiful she is.
Well, she had like a face, right? And she had like 2 arms, and like those arms. Perfectly proportioned. Absolutely gorgeous.
All right. Say less. I know enough. I can picture her in my mind. She's a Roblox character. Okay.
She was a Roblox character.
Yeah.
But really, like, absolutely pretty, right? Like, drop dead gorgeous kind of thing, right? But she was just in like a hot dog costume.
Dude, that's
just like a hot dog costume. And another one, she was like in a chicken mascot outfit for like reasons I just don't understand.
She's asserting dominance and it's working.
No, it was sick. And one of them, she had like a pet lizard, like a tegu or something like that. One hand, and she was like in a really windy, like outdoor space. So she was just like you couldn't see her face. It was just hair, like blown all over the place, and she's holding like a lizard. It was like all like very surreal. It was just really funny, and like I forget what the profile said, but it was all like just really funny stuff.
Presumably, it was in Chinese.
I actually don't think that one was.
It was in English.
Maybe it was. I don't remember.
Interesting.
It was just the pictures were really funny.
Yeah.
And there was another one where it was definitely like an English translation error, but it said some really I can find it. It was really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Made in Taiwan, trust issues, PTSD, high calorie human, need some human skunk to really destroy my heart to trigger the weight loss.
What?
What?
I don't know if you can say that, man.
I might have to censor the
episode. Mind, but it's so out there. I was like, I'm not even sure this is even registered as offensive anymore.
Dude, Well,
yeah, it was very odd.
Yeah,
and that was also they lived at Hogwarts, by the way, or went to school at Hogwarts.
Dude, that's only funny.
Everything you've said, and that's the red flag.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's only funny because they're in Taiwan. If that was in America, anywhere, and they're like, "Yeah, I went to school at Hogwarts," you're like, lame.
Yeah, but dude, the Taiwanese are cool.
That's fair.
That's
funny.
not what you were saying when you introduced this story.
It's funny how like just you were talking about like the Japanese metagame where it's like they're not showing their faces, and it's like maybe this is why their population is declining so rapidly. They just haven't figured out dating apps like we have here in the States.
Yeah, have we figured them out, Teva?
No, not at all.
Apparently, they haven't even really figured out memes until somewhat recently.
Dude, part of the one of the funniest things about traveling specifically in like Europe is they love playing like old American music. Like you'll just walk into a random coffee shop and they'll be playing something like from the 80s, or they'll be playing like the Beatles, and it's just like, damn, people still just play this like routinely here. They're like behind.
I mean, you know the thing about Mr. Brightside, right?
The Killer song?
Yeah.
Like, and the white girls or what?
Huh? The Huna?
There's like a meme about like Mr. Brightside and like playing it to like get all the white girls at like the club like going crazy or something, like popping off, like everyone will sing along because it's a sick song. What? No, is this something different? Am I outing myself? Did
I think the exact years, but basically, Mr. Brightside by the Killers, is like the top song in the UK, and
right
it
now
has been.
Oh, still, dude, it's a goated song.
They don't get a lot of sunlight there.
They don't get a lot of sunlight there.
They don't.
Also, just random side on that. The fact that I've heard that at a wedding was still really funny to me.
Mr. Brightside? Yeah, it's on the playlist. Look up the Spotify playlist, like music like white people get turned to or something. It's on that playlist.
Yeah. Have you heard of the greater context of the song?
Americans don't have culture, Teva.
They do. They do.
Culture right there.
It's our actual biggest export. We're actually a culture, like a dominant culture, but it's just like
but we don't have food.
We don't have food. And we don't have like history, as like we don't have long history to our
comparatively.
culture.
Our history is
very
young.
Yeah. But yeah,
I was have you heard? Do you know the like context of the song? Like,
Mr. Brightside? Am I allowed to say the word like
cock?
Yeah.
Well,
it's written out.
I don't think it was
the song.
I thought it was he was being cheated on.
Oh, yeah. That too.
Someone was the cucky.
I mean,
that's very different than being cheated on.
But yes, either in
Okay,
either one of those contexts.
wait, guys. We haven't hung out in a while. Do you guys want to go to Cucky Cheeses?
Bro,
Hello.
one of these days I'm gonna do it.
I've already done it, man.
Oh god.
Okay, sorry, that was a bad joke. But like, okay, yeah. It's about like, getting cheated on. But I feel like the reason the word like cuck stands out to my mind is it's coming from like the perspective of like the guy being cheated on and like describing in detail him being cheated on. So it kind of gives that energy.
Yeah, you know what? That does kind of
Like that's why. Like,
yeah.
I agree that that's what it's about. But he's kind of like, why? Yeah, why is he watching, man? Okay, yeah. So what makes you say that about Mr. Brightside or like the UK or anything?
Well, one little bit of a weird song to play at a wedding.
No, it's like people playing like pumped up kicks at like I don't want to say the joke. Anyway,
But yeah,
like people don't like necessarily think too hard about like what the song is saying is my point.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just kind of funny that it's been at the top charts for years now.
That's sick.
Like it has not changed for quite some time. Last I checked.
You don't mess with the goat.
How often do you check the UK charts, Eric?
All the time. I'm UK pilled, dude.
Dude, are you?
Yeah, dude.
What do you like?
I love me
about
some fish and chups. Wait, that's kiwi. Just kidding. If you're saying chups, that's.
I was
kiwi,
like, is this where you got chunk flaps from or whatever?
Yeah, I love chunk flaps.
Oh my god,
Eric, I don't know if it's in there.
What, chunk flaps?
No, Mr.
The
Brightside.
official UK
It's not in there
singles
anymore.
chart.
I see.
It's okay. We're allowed to just spread misinformation on this.
I love
After
misinformation.
all we've said this episode.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Voting is lame, kids. Don't do it.
No, you should go and register to vote and do it young. I get it. I feel like I'm not in a position because I feel like I was also not like so proactive about voting because I felt like voting didn't matter and it was whatever. And that's the reason young people don't vote is it's like the energy it takes to like get set up is so annoying. But I think it's worth getting started young and like caring young for sure.
Yeah.
I think being informed is, important, it seems.
Dude, I want to sorry, we're like half an hour like after this, but like tell me more about the movies, Luke. Like like I wanted to talk about how like long form content is kind of sick.
I don't know, man. I think I'm gassed.
You're fuck. All right, fair enough.
You can save that for next time.
Yeah, no worries.
Like drive.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. There was something I wanted to like ask y'all. Like, how was summer break? How was summer vacation from the pod?
Bro, that shit sucked.
I'm so sorry.
I worked.
It's okay.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Too much happened. I've come back a changed man.
Dude, a lot has happened. I was like thinking about all the things we could have talked about today, and there was like a long ass list. I was like, oh shit. We haven't talked
and we didn't talk about any of them.
Yeah.
Oopsie daisy.
So true. All right.
That's
well,
what next time is for.
Yeah. This is fun, y'all. You know, I really think we should hang out more.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah. All right. Catch y'all later.
Bye.